Hi, everyone. My name is Lexi, and I'm here with Samantha today. When I studied abroad with AIFS, I went to Maynooth, Ireland, and studied at Maynooth University in the fall of 2022. And Samantha, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your time abroad?
So I'm Samantha. I studied abroad. I went to Costa Rica, specifically San Jose.
Awesome. Thinking back way before you went and studied abroad, when you were just kind of debating if you wanted to go or not, was there like a select moment where you were like, I definitely want to go, like, this is what I want to do? And how did that kind of feel to like come to that realization?
I love traveling, all sorts, types, whatever. I've been to, I think, 5 different countries before I studied abroad. So I was like, I really want to go somewhere that I can at least study while I'm there, get some progress with my credits at my home institution. Last March, so 2023, I was like, really want to go somewhere. Like, this would be the perfect time. I don't have any specific like core classes I need to take still. So I started looking into it, did everything on my own, researched different programs, different places. I settled on AIFS and obviously chose Costa Rica as my main place that I wanted to go. I did a lot of research, probably more than I should have, but I chose things that I'd want to do in each country, and then I just selected it down, and then Costa Rica was the winner.
That's the great thing is I feel like when you're first kind of starting out with like where you want to study abroad, there's just like so many different options and there's so many different paths you can take. Definitely when you like figure it out, it just feels like very, very sure. And you're like, yes, this is what I want to do, where I want to go. And it's just like a great feeling to be like, okay, I am doing this and it's actually happening.
Yeah, it was definitely very exciting. Like, first applying, you're just like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to get in. And then,
Yeah.
it took like 3 days to hear back, and they're like, yep, you're accepted.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is actually happening. Like, I can
Yeah.
start planning now. Like, in a year, I'll be in Costa Rica. It was so surreal and so exciting.
Yeah, the moment when it like hits you, you're like, "Oh, I'm actually going to a different country and everything."
Yeah.
It's a feeling that definitely like will stick with you and you will like remember forever. Was there anything in Costa Rica or like on your specific just AIFS trip with like focus on fighting climate change or like kind of taking part in like green initiatives in your country?
They definitely did stress that. I don't even remember this percentage, but a lot of Costa Rica is just ecological, green, whatever. So they did say, like, recycle, do whatever, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like stressed to,
Mhm.
like an excessive amount.
Did you feel being Costa Rica that there was really any like language barriers and like how did you adapt and like learn in the environment?
It was definitely different, especially taking like Ubers and taxis and things like that. They all spoke Spanish. So they always have this like code when you go into like an Uber ride, you need to give them this code to go follow into your ride and continue with that. So definitely knowing your numbers in Spanish, but I already had taken 3 years in high school. So I knew that still. I did have to take a Spanish class as part of my curriculum while I was down there, which also helped just like bring everything back to me. It was really easy for me to adapt to that because I've had all this experience and it comes back to me super quickly. Whereas some people had never taken any Spanish before in their lives and now they're trying to navigate their way through this different culture in another country. So
Yeah.
it was definitely very easy for me. And even if I did have like something that I needed to know or whatever in Spanish, I would use my Translate app. It
Yeah.
definitely was my best friend when I was there, especially,
Mhm.
trying to talk to my host mom or my host sister and her friends,
Mhm.
things like that. But they're very understanding. If you ask for help, they will definitely help you. I think it excites them that, like
Yeah.
Americans want to learn their language.
What was your kind of like academic life like there?
I had mentioned that I already took like all my core classes.
Mhm.
So I'm a criminal justice forensic science major with
Mhm.
a minor in communication.
Okay.
So I had already finished everything. It was my spring semester of junior year.
Uh-huh.
So I took ecological photography, major world religions, a Spanish course, and Latin American history. The photography course was just to take it. I thought it'd be super
Mhm.
fun. Spanish, I had to take it. The religion course I took because I go to a private college and we need at least one religion course per year. So I
Okay.
decided to take it down there because I thought, oh, it'd be
Yeah.
cool to learn what their aspects and their thoughts are instead of like at my home institution. And then the Latin American history course I took down there as one of my gen eds because I didn't want to take it in
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Mhm.
So
Nice. Yeah. Did you have a lot of homework in the classes or like assignments?
I wouldn't say we necessarily had a lot. Obviously, every class has like readings that
Mhm.
they expect you to do. For like religion, we'd have like a presentation on each religion that we learn about. And then the end of the course, we had like a catalog that we made with a bunch of information on each religion we learned. So I made a website. History, we had like concept maps, things like that, which wasn't like terribly hard. I'm not a huge history fan, so
Yeah.
it was whatever. Photography, we didn't have like barely anything. I think we had like 5 assignments the entire time I was
Uh-huh.
there. So it was really nice. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
terrible. I've definitely had a way heavier course load.
I felt the same way. In Ireland, they didn't give like any homework for the school that I went to, which was nice. But then coming back to the United States, I was like, oh, now I have to like readjust back to like having homework assignments like every single day.
Yeah, it was definitely different in that aspect, but also where I'm from, like we have a way heavier grading system. And in Costa Rica, when we had this catalog at the end of the semester, I think it was worth like 30 points. So it was
Oh.
very easy to fail it because you get
Yeah.
like one wrong and then you're
Yeah.
stuck,
Hmm.
whatever you get. But in like my home institution, I have a 10-page essay and it's worth like 200 points.
Yeah.
A way different
Uh-huh.
aspect. And that was the biggest thing that I had to get used to because I'm like, I actually have to do good on this or it
Yep.
will drop the grade.
I have one last question for you. What is a piece of advice you would give anyone thinking about studying abroad?
I would say definitely like reach out to as many people as you can, get, tips, do your research. Don't be afraid to ask questions because you're going to be living in another country and it's definitely very scary for some people.
Mhm.
It wasn't for me, but even then I still asked people for their advice and I looked up, different blogs and posts and whatnot on the internet to try and prepare myself before I left. And it definitely like doing your research beforehand, learning about the country, their norms,
Yeah.
their climate, things like that, trying to get in contact with people over there. Like with AIFS, I somehow got into a group chat with people that were going the same time I was.
Oh,
So I
nice.
got to connect with some people before I
Uh-huh.
got there, which is definitely very useful because then you get there and you're like, hey, like we've been talking for the last couple of weeks. It's nice to meet you in person. Definitely very helpful.
Yeah, knowing people and meeting people right off the bat, I think really helps like make you feel better about being like, I'm not in this alone. Like I do have other people, which is I think a great thing and why I'm glad I did AIFS is because you do get connected with a group like right away. Instead of kind of just like being on your own and being like, well, I'll figure it out. So that was always nice.
Yep. And they make sure you do like group activities together. Like our first day in San Jose, they like did a tour of it. You got to like meet people, hang out with people, things like that. And even the AIFS like workers at their offices in each country, I feel like are very understanding, very
Yeah.
helpful. I had some, family health issues back home and was very stressed out about it. They helped me through everything and they even were just there to let me, sit and talk to them. And they weren't, trying to just rub it off their shoulders. They were there for me. And that was very welcoming and heartwarming for me.
Yeah, no, that's really, really great. And you never know what might happen while you're abroad, which is always nice to know that there are resources that can help you and connect you and that you still have connections to your home while you are abroad. It's not completely cut off or anything like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Samantha, for all your insight and all your amazing answers. And thank you, everybody, for watching this episode and tune in next time.